What's up guys, it's Weezy here again, and FIFA 18's demo is out now. So what we're going to do today is we're going to play two games. We're going to have a full breakdown of it, check out the new atmosphere, the player personality, the passing, the player weights, see how the guys feel in the game, and just play as much as we can and learn as much as we can about 18 and to really break down the gameplay to see how it feels versus 17. So before we get started on the video, if you could leave a like down on the video, leave any comments you have in the comments section, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. I appreciate you guys' support, so let's get into it. Alright guys, so let's get right into it. So the first gameplay of FIFA 18 that we're seeing so far, so the demo. So of course we're going to accept this. We don't care about the user agreement. I don't know anybody who does. Alright. Interested to know what you guys think so far of the demo. I'm sure that all of you have played it, so what do you guys think so far? Is it meeting expectations? Is it above? Is it below? Where do you guys think the game is? So new gameplay features: the world's game fueled by the world's best, powered by Frostbite. FIFA 18 blurs the lines between virtual and reality worlds, bringing the players' team's atmosphere and immerse you in the emotion of the world's game. Back-to-back European champion Cristiano Ronaldo innovates it. So new crossing controls create more dynamic attacking chances with all new crossing mechanics that give the player a variety of whipped, arching, and pinged deliveries from the wing. So new crossing mechanics. Real player motion technology, all new animation system which unlocks new level of responsiveness of player personality. Now Cristiano Ronaldo and other top players feel and move exactly like they do on the pitch. So they've always prided themselves on being the most realistic gameplay and exhibiting like the actual real player motions and stuff like that. So I'm not really that shocked by seeing that, but it's interesting to see how they're actually executing it now that they've called it out. Dribbling overhaul, new dribbling mechanics to create more defined touches, tighter turns, more explosive transitions to attack than ever before. So I'm sure that's going to be mind-numbing coming up against skillers and dribblers and stuff like that. I used to be kind of one of those guys that like to dangle. I like to kind of move in tight areas, but we'll see how that comes out in the gameplay. FUT icons, you guys are well familiar with that, and more ways to play. Build your own Ultimate Team squad from thousands of players in the most popular mode in FIFA. Discover new daily objectives, compete for weekly rewards and squad battles, and watch the world's best and the Champions channel. So the Champions channel will be really interesting. I'm really excited to actually have that, so it gives you the opportunity to actually buy. I don't know which one is which, so we'll just do advanced for now. I still need to buy FIFA 18. I haven't decided what version I'm going to buy yet. So kick off the journey, Hunter returns, and you can read the new features. Customize. Okay, let's just go into a kickoff. Let's just get right into a game. I just want to start playing it. So who do we got in here? Let's do our boys from Man United, and let's do a random. We'll play against, Man City. So Mkhitaryan and Kyle Walker both look good. You got those black jerseys. Let's use the red. Ooh, those are interesting. The purple. Let's just do the classic red versus blue. So let's go into the team management, see what we got here. Quick sub. So now you can do this on the fly with R2 when the ball goes out of play. So I don't really know how to do it. During the match, during the stoppage and play, do a quick sub, overlay appears, hold R2 and select the desired quick sub by pressing X to confirm your selection. So we're going to go to our favored 4-1-2-1-2 narrow. Doesn't look like they've added any new formations in there. Wow, that looks really narrow in here. So Pogba, Mkhitaryan, Rashford, Lukaku, we'll put over there, Matic, Lindelof, Eric Bailly, Valencia, Danny Blind. And then I guess all of these guys you could possibly do for the quick subs. Let's put him on Lingard. I hate Fellaini, so we're going to put him on there. Fosu-Mensah, Tuanzebe, Pereira, Borthwick Jackson, Mitchell, Gribbin. I don't know who either of these two are actually, which is embarrassing to say, but let's take him out and we will put on Fosu-Mensah's a right back in this. That sucks. Tuanzebe is a center back. Let's put Luke Shaw in there. Actually, I'm going to put Luke Shaw actually in the game, even though he's not starting. I just don't necessarily rate Daley Blind in these games, so we're going to put those on stay back while attacking, stay back while attacking, stay forward, and then stay central, get in behind. Pretty standard. Tactics wise, we'll just switch this up a little bit. Speed, I like to play a lot quicker. Chance creation, crossing, shooting. Crossing will drop down, shooting will bump up a little bit. Freeform, chance creation, and all that stuff looks good. So, yeah. Gameplay settings, what do we have in gameplay settings? We can do the Bernabeu, we can do the StubHub Center, King Fahd Stadium, Bombonera. Wow, they put a couple of stadiums in here. Let's do the StubHub Center just because it's a new one. So quick subs on, difficulty semi-pro, sure. Just until we get the feel of the game, because we don't want too much pressure coming onto us. We just want to kind of play out with the controls and see what it is like. But yeah, in terms of these, oh my goodness, oh my god, terrible, shocking shooting from me. What is it? Those low drivens are not hitting the spot here. I mean, they're actually going in the goal, but oh, I haven't hit one target yet. Look at this, I'm gonna have to walk this right in. Oh my god. There's one target, finally. I think I hit one target the entire game, so see. So we'll definitely have to practice that. I don't know if the shooting's changed at all. I mean, still scored, so that's all we care about. But yeah, so StubHub Center looks really good. Players look really good. The models, I like the lighting from LA. It actually makes it feel like you're in Los Angeles. I mean, the dust from the Los Angeles sunlight there. So in terms of presentation, I don't remember what it was because I played so much Ultimate Team. I didn't play a lot of the actual Premier League games, so I don't remember if it was that much different. Or if it was the same, but cool presentation. All the player models look really good. They look a lot crisper. Maybe I'm just kind of making that up in my head, but they just feel like they're a lot sharper. Jose Mourinho. Oh, this is cool. Kind of the walkouts like they do in the Premier League presentation. So Matic, there's Pogba. Pogba looks the same as last year, no hair changes. I was expecting him to have like the kind of short flat top there with the hair color on the side, but looks like they just went with the same player model as last year, where they've got just the crew cut.
For the opposition, I mean, it can be incredibly frustrating.
Kevin De Bruyne, David Silva still got his hair. They haven't got the shaved head one in there. Sergio Aguero looks the same, which is sad because I hated his hair last year. Leroy Sané and Raheem Sterling.
Manchester United getting the first half underway. Henrik Mkhitaryan.
So far feels pretty slick.
Lukaku, and the goalkeeper got a touch to that. Fine save.
Feels pretty responsive. Obviously, on semi-pro, you're not going to get too much of the idea of how responsive the player controls are because you're not playing in super competitive game mode, but we're just trying to get a feel for what's going on. So we want to get some of these new crosses and stuff like that going in there. So let's see, see if we can get some crosses in here. Whoop. I really like the new camera. So last year, one of the things was I didn't like the camera because it was too far out. So I would always play with telecam. The only issue with telebroadcast was the fact that it was so close that you wouldn't get a really good idea for where players were on the pitch. But it looks like they've kind of reworked the camera so you get a really good idea for where everybody is on the pitch at one time. So I really like this new camera a lot. The new camera's got really good height, and it just shows you everything. So here we go. We're through here. And there we go, 1-0. So low driven again, super effective. Let's see what happens with the celebrations. Everything looks good there. In terms of the presentation, I haven't seen too much in terms of like the crowd. So they're talking about how the crowd looks a lot more dynamic, but I haven't really noticed too much on the crowd. They look and feel kind of the same to where they were last year. Of course, it's really early days, so we haven't got too too much to kind of go by there, but I haven't seen too much in terms of the atmosphere. Like with PES, it really feels like you're in different environments. This one just feels the same. Like that crowd looks like it's a lot more active, but I don't know. You don't, unless you're looking for it, you're probably not getting the that type of experience in there. So you're not really noticing the crowd. But I like how responsive it feels. Gameplay feels nice and fluid. The L2 R2 dribble's still in there, which I like because it actually helps you create space. So that's one of my favorite tactics, is to kind of drop back, let the player go on a run, and then it opens up the field a lot more. So if you don't do that, you're doing yourself real disservice here. Oh, good ball. Oh, good save. So the low driven is going to be an interesting one, because apparently last year what they didn't have was the keeper animations to stop a lot of the low driven. So I'm really interested to see if they will have changed that this year. So if you're going to... Oh, big stop. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if they put the animations in there, or if the low driven is still going to be one of the most overpowered shots in the game. So that'll be really exciting to see how people's shooting tactics change. Have a go. I'm also really interested to see. What am I trying to say here? I'm really interested to see how the players feel with their shielding. The shielding is another one of those elements that was really overpowered this past year. So right now it looks like they overcompensate a little bit, which is good, because right now their responsiveness, even though it's good, players could turn on a dime, but now it looks like they feel a little bit more like realistic towards an actual player. So you kind of see they kind of overrun things. It feels a lot more real, I guess, in terms of like players actually moving. So if I just sprint here and then I just run past, and then I see if I just run past, I have to kind of stop there and go. Like, he doesn't just turn on a dime, he kind of runs, and then I'm just like, oh, I overcompensated. So he kind of takes a couple extra steps where he has to slow his momentum down in order to get back. He doesn't just like turn on a dime and just be able to do exactly like what you want him to do, which is like playing on ice skates or something like that for NHL, where guys can turn on an actual dime. In this game, you have to... Oh my word, Mkhitaryan! That was fantastic. But yeah, you kind of, your guy, if you want to stop here, you run and then you stop. He kind of takes a couple extra steps and then stops and then has to come back. So that's nice, because it's going to mean that you actually have to manually defend a lot more. Guys just can't hammer pace and track, and it won't just track the guy perfectly. You're going to have to actually work a little bit. Wow, that was from so far out. I don't know if I scored a goal like that in FIFA 17 all year, so that was really awesome. I don't know if that was something that we're going to see regularly, but that was a really amazing goal. Holy crap. I'm so far out. Mkhitaryan is one of the guys that I loved last year in the game, so I'm hoping this year he gets some major upgrades. Player models all look really awesome. The animations look awesome. It just it looks a lot crisper this year, so that's good, which is impressive, because it wasn't even bad last year. The driven pass. Yeah, the ability to pass and move is definitely there, so that's really good for me, because you guys know that I'm like a tiki-taka type player, so that's what I like to do. I like to get the ball moving as quickly as possible, and keep guys on the move, because I pride myself on knowing the game really well. So being able to actually make those passes in tight areas and see player movement on the ball is definitely something that I think should be rewarded in FIFA. It hasn't been rewarded in the past so much, but now it looks like the pace of the ball is a lot more realistic, which is going to be interesting for Ultimate Team, because Ultimate Team, as you guys know, is a sped up version of the game mode. So a lot of these things that you guys play in the demo doesn't necessarily mean you're going to see it in Ultimate Team. Ultimate Team, it's slowed down a little bit from where it was a couple years ago, when it was a lot quicker than regular gameplay, but we'll see how these things play in Ultimate Team, whether you're going to feel them or you're going to have to abuse tactics. I mean, there are going to be tactics that people abuse anyway, but it'll be interesting to see what really gets blown out. So as soon as you see guys like Sean Allen and Gorilla and these guys get a hold of the game, they're going to be able to figure out what works and what's capable of being abused a lot quicker. So that'll be something to definitely watch for in the game, because right now it's just everybody is on the same page, but as soon as you get a couple of the pros in there, they really know how to break apart a game. So interesting to see what will come of this.
That's good movement forward here.
Nice turn there.
Silva.
Oh, computer's kind of ripping me apart here.
Bit of space to go forward into with the ball. Now
I'm gonna try jockeying and see what it does. So try just holding regular jockey and then see if you can actually just defend. Like last year, you could just defend by just holding jockey. So that was something that was very frustrating to play against. Because the computer would defend. Computer would defend for you, so just having the actual jockey button in there is always something that kind of worries me a little bit, but we'll see how overpowered it is. So let's try this out. So this is Nemanja Matic. He's got high defending, so I'm just holding jockey. We're just going to see what he does. He basically is just attracting to the ball. But I don't think they put in a tackle, so let's see if the computer just runs into a tackle or if he's just literally going to stay in front of him. So this is going to be a good test. So jockeying is going to be good here. He puts in a block because the shot just went into him, but it's good because it looks like it just backs off, and that's what you want. You don't want it to put in a tackle when the player, as soon as he hits sprint. So last year, as soon as a guy hit sprint, the computer would almost identify that, and it would put in a tackle. So this year, it looks like it just holds off. Of course, it's tough to tell whether the computer was sprinting or not there. So time will tell whether that's still overpowered or not. Whoa.
It's an advantage for Manchester United. Play on, says the ref. Supporting player alongside. I love that. He's got his shot off now. Wonderful save.
So the McGeady turn's still there. They're really tight, which is nice. So the skill moves look like they're fairly tight. We need to play around with them a little bit more to see.
Now
Right, let's get the ball with Pogba here.
Nemanja Matic.
Oh, that is not what we want. Look at that pass from Matic. Oh my lord. Serves me right though. So yeah, so jockeying.
Manchester City piling men forward.
Well, I think we're going to see some Route 1 stuff here.
But yeah, it just plays a lot more realistic. It feels like you're actually holding human beings as opposed to just like computer players that ooh. So that skill move doesn't do anything
United
anymore.
moving into the attack. Super skills.
I've never really been the best skiller on the ball, so I'm probably not the best person to determine whether skill moves are super tight or not. But yeah, trying them with Paul Pogba. One of the things that I've had as an issue with FIFA in the past, at least for me personally, not being a skiller, is I feel like there's so many times where I've tried to do a skill move and it just doesn't identify. So it'd be nice if it did something, but
Substitute getting ready to come on. Comes that challenge.
Yeah, wasn't doing anything there. So like you guys could hear me on the sticks there trying to do things. Like, of course, granted, like I said, I'm not the best skiller, so getting the actual button combos away isn't always my forte.
The opposition have got to come out and get them. They can't let them just play their ball around in their own half like this. Eric Bailly. It's good work between these two.
Yeah, like that one used to do the chop there.
Good forward play from
used to do the
gets his cross in.
Rabona chop thing, but which is back and left or right, and it used to do like the Rabona type chop, but it doesn't look like it's doing it.
Please give a round of applause for today's man of the match, number 21.
And in he goes with the tackle.
Weird.
On the move with the ball, Sergio Aguero.
Yeah, I like the defending a lot more. It looks like you actually have to defend.
Referee now. Nemanja Matic.
I like the way you can kind of get out of trouble there. The passing is very fluid. I definitely like it a lot. So far so good. It feels really good. The pitch, the visuals, everything looks really good. Like, look at the field. It looks like it's torn up there. So first game, so far so good. Definitely have really enjoyed that in terms of the feel. The only thing for me, I guess, so far is the skill moves. They don't feel that tight. But again, coming up against a skiller will be a really interesting one. So let's get back into another game and see if we can get another 5-star skiller on the ball, if we can get some of these other ones going. So new crossing mechanics, we already saw this. So far so good. Like I said, I definitely enjoyed that first game though, so that's good news. I'm so excited for Ultimate Team to release. So I think the demo obviously being out now, and then I think the web app is out somewhere around the 20th, so only a couple days there. So Atletico Madrid, Bayern Munich. Let's do PSG against Bayern. We'll get Neymar on the ball, see how Neymar feels. Thiago, the other guy that I definitely wanted to use. So yeah, we'll get Neymar out there and see if we can. Oh my God. So yeah, it looks like you really have to walk it in. You're just supposed to hit shoot, right? You're not like finesse shooting. Can you just finesse shoot this? I'll try finessing, see if you get penalized for it. Huh, nope. Okay, so you can just finesse shoot those. Huh, alright, well. Still needs some work. Still a C overall there, so definitely some work needed from my shooting standpoint. But
Well, here we are.
all right, so let's get into this. So PSG and the Bernabeu here. There's all of the Bayern guys. They all look fairly good. It'll be really interesting. The Bernabeu is a good test. The Bernabeu, they've never really done that well in the past. I didn't use it a lot this past year, but the Bernabeu will definitely be one of the stadiums where hopefully you'll be able to feel a little bit different in terms of the atmosphere. It still looks a little static in my opinion. I like the way they made the crowd a lot more dynamic, so they look a lot more individual, but I still got to say that I feel like PES has got more vibrant atmosphere to their players, or to their crowd, so
Paris Saint-Germain. This is their lineup.
yeah, I still think it could use a little bit of work here. Like, look, the crowd feels a little bit flat there. It doesn't look like it doesn't feel exciting. It just feels like they're kind of going like this.
In the center of the park, Edinson Cavani is the main
Like they're just going up and down.
It took a long time for
All right, so
the French capital Paris to have
again,
a club.
same static camera, so I like that camera a lot.
Such a population.
I hope they keep the same camera too. With a lot of the stadiums in FIFA 17, you'd have different cameras, which I like from a presentation standpoint, but it was very annoying. So like you'd have to basically change your camera to whatever you want, telebroadcast or broadcast or whatever you want it on. Because if you just went off the defaults, it would change the height and stuff for all the different stadiums. And like I said, that would be okay from a presentation standpoint, but from a gameplay standpoint, it was so frustrating. So I like this in terms of the sense that it looks like they have just made them all the same. So it looks like they all use the same broadcast camera. Oh, Bayern on one. We haven't tried out the low crosses yet. So again, here I'm just holding jockey here. So it doesn't put in a tackle. It just kind of backs off, stays in front of him, which is fine. You want it to be able to do that. You don't want it to stop his run.
The wonderful city in which
he still got it.
Football, of course, which for a long time didn't really have a
good tackle from David Alaba.
No, surprising really.
Who is that? Angel Di Maria. Snake. Angel Di Maria, the snake there, leaving Man United. As a United supporter, I hate Angel Di Maria. I don't really hate him. I actually like using him in the game, but you know, from a professional standpoint, I hate his guts. This Bayern team is just carving me up, though, pretty good. Oh my word, Ari and Robin. So the stadium looks good. It feels like they've done a lot better job of making the stadium around the pitch a lot more realistic. Last year, every stadium pretty much felt the same. You'd have some that had tracks on it and stuff like that, but at least you can see the crowd from this vantage point. Like, the stadium's low enough and the camera's kind of low enough, but you still get a full feel for the entire stadium, that you get some look. So if you're going to play in places like the Amsterdam Arena, you're going to actually get a pretty good visual for what the stadium looks like. I am playing really shitty right now. I haven't even got the ball to Neymar yet. So there I had to put in a manual tackle, which is good. That's what I want.
Verratti.
Oh, good tackle from Boateng. So I don't know if this is on semi-pro, but this computer is actually tearing me up a new one here. I feel like I have to concentrate.
There is some backup for him in this position. Thiago Motta.
I wonder if it's just because that's the way Bayern play, like they just play like a higher press.
Verratti.
This formation, though, definitely not as useful for me.
They've got numbers in this attack, and it looks dangerous.
Ooh.
Thiago Motta.
I could see guys getting really good at this, though.
Thiago Motta.
Let's try the shield. So the shield button.
That's a brilliant challenge.
So that's good. It looks like if you try to abuse the shield too much, it would actually like punish you for that.
Lewandowski. Great play from the attacker, James Rodriguez. And we've got a goal.
Wow, good goal.
That's the first one, and I think there'll be a few more
yeah,
to come.
playing with shield there probably wasn't the wisest move, but it's okay because we're just trying to get a feel for the game here. James Rodriguez. They got his tattoo sleeve. I'm interested to see some of the other players like Nainggolan and stuff like that, what some of the new player models look like. Everyone on the field looks like they do in real life. Kurzawa, I don't think they had a player model for Kurzawa last year, did they? You guys will have to remind me in the comments section below, but Layvin Kurzawa looks really good, even though I hated using him last year. His card was... his card was one of the worst cards I used all year. We still haven't tried out. We still have to try out the.
Cavani, good position. They've worked this attack very well.
We still have to try out the quick switch there.
Let's fly. Manuel Neuer.
It's going to be very hard to beat Manuel Neuer in this game. Can I still do it here?
A short corner. Gonna try it.
Well, that's a
Oh, there it is. Do not tell me that's who I think it is. Oh my god, look at who scored that. That was a fantastic finish, but Layvin Kurzawa of all people. The guy that I couldn't stand using last year. Oh, that's cool. Okay, so that crowd looked a lot better. So getting a shot of the crowd after that was pretty phenomenal. So a little fake shot and then a low driven to the far post. You know what? I'm almost having a hard time determining, because I have the sound off, it's just going to come on in the video. I'm having a hard time determining whether the ball actually went into the net. It doesn't really seem to have the same feel like it did last year when you could really notice when a goal. It almost feels like the goals are a little bit static. I might be kind of making a mountain out of a molehill there. It might not be as dramatic as I think, but I haven't really been able to identify if the ball's gone into the net or not. So that's definitely something to notice there.
Really getting at the opposition this far up the pitch now. That's a good header.
Oh,
Very
wow.
close.
I like the way
Actually,
Neymar got over top of that.
Yeah. Built an oof from the crowd.
I want to get the ball to him because I want to try out some of the other skill moves. Obviously, Neymar being a 5-star skiller, he'll have a lot of them. This formation is really not working for me. It's like a 4-3-3.
Referee's had a good look and decided
Ooh, I did not mean to
what
do
he's
that.
seen from this,
How many skills does
period of play to add
Di
on
Maria
3 minutes.
5-star skiller as well? I think he is.
Frank Ribéry.
So maybe I can try getting him on the ball as well.
Arturo Vidal.
See, there I just held track. He actually didn't even put in a tackle, even though he ran into him. So I want to say that that's a good thing. So I actually want that player to be able to put in a tackle sometimes, but I prefer that he doesn't put in any tackles than tackle everything. So I'm okay with that, actually. It looks like you have to really manually defend in the game, so good news on that front. I like the way they finally got the single-player kickoff in the game.
Verratti. Thiago Silva.
Trying to stretch the opposition using the wider areas here. Matuidi.
Get going.
Just moving the opposition around. Maybe he's got his shot off now.
Oh, good stop there. The shooting feels really good. It feels like you're getting some real weight behind your shots. Okay, so there it is, R2. So let's... Who else can we sub here? Suggested substitutions. Okay, so it puts a clock on it to determine how much time you have for your substitution. I don't know how you change around who is going to be... who's going to be the sub, but
time that tackle well. It's cost a corner. Could have been worse.
Yeah,
if
the
he got
pitch
it wrong.
actually, like the field feels like I'm really feels like I'm at the Bernabeu. Like that stadium really looks good.
Cavani.
Oh my God! Don't tell me he was onside. No, he was offside, right? Yeah, he must have been offside. I would have killed myself if that was onside and he missed that. But yeah, like look at the around the side of the stadium there. It really feels like you are at the Bernabeu. It's got a really good atmosphere to it. Not atmosphere, but the stadium looks good. Atmosphere, I still think is lacking a little bit, but
clever interplay from Bayern Munich.
It'll be interesting to see whether that stuff again happens in Ultimate Team or if this is just something that is only for
It's a fantastic save.
the game modes for seasons and stuff like that, like career mode, because you have to be playing in that league to get the true feeling of the stadium.
Now Dani Alves.
You're going, Danny.
Matuidi. Neymar. Laiva Kurzawa. Moving the opposition around with these two players.
They read the passes fairly well. Yeah, the thing that I really like so far about the game is it feels like you can't just ping the ball around. Like you actually have to be smart about where you're playing the ball. Again, whoa.
Going inside. Deflected behind.
So yeah, that's something that I wasn't used to. I was so used to just holding track in those positions and letting the guy run into you. But if you just hold track, he'll just be able to walk in. So I could see this being a real tough way to defend corners if guys are going to play short and then kind of do the L2 R2 dribble right off of the corner. It's going to be very hard. You're going to have to manually defend it, like right here. Like you'll have to actually manually put in a tackle. This is exactly what I'm talking about. So you have to actually wait until the guy's in a position where you can tackle him.
That's out. This will
please
be a throw.
keep my ball there.
Kurzawa. Matuidi.
Oh God! See, like I said, you can't just ping the ball around. So you actually have to be intelligent with where you're passing it. Players feel like they've got more weight and they are a lot more intelligent. See, really good examples there of like guys being able, if you're not going to put in a tackle, the guy's just going to keep going. So you really have to manually defend in this game. It's a lot different than it was in 17, where the players would just basically run into you. And you have to be smart with where you're going.
Good position. They've worked this attack very well into quite a dangerous position now.
Well, the pressure paying off. It's an
They
aimless
didn't create anything there. Bayern Munich definitely a lot better than Man City here. I want to get it in a substitution though, so I'm hoping to be able to use one of those. I keep forgetting about them, to be honest with you.
Has to get it away.
So let's run the ball out of play and let's just do a substitution regardless of who it is. So we're going to run the ball. Oh, okay. So I guess you have to have the ball in order to do that, which probably makes sense.
Edinson Cavani. Been a great contest, and no one has got their noses in front now with 5 minutes to go.
Di Maria.
Oh, there it is, the snake.
There's a competition famed for its late goals.
So Angel Di Maria, they just backed off, and they just ran in. That's probably just the game itself. You saw them kind of take a weird path to to the goal there. He kind of backed off, and then Jerome Boateng kind of went on the outside option. So he didn't really kind of cut in. He didn't really ever super challenge him. So Di Maria just walks in and puts it into the top corner. But other than that, like, the game just feels really good. I'm really hoping again that this just translates into Ultimate Team, because like being able to build a team that's got like really good attributes for the way you play. Like, everyone plays so different, and that's one of the things that, you know, they pride themselves on, as they say, you know, having different players play like they do in real life. So different, you know, FIFA players play how they do in real life, like, differently. So some guys like to run the wing, some guys like to tiki-taka, some guys are skillers. So being able to actually build a team where you've got guys that lend themselves to the way your style of playing, that's going to be really interesting in Ultimate Team. So I'm really looking forward to playing it this year. I think it's going to be a really good game mode. Is that offside? Oh no, he just missed it. Alright, let's go up the wing here.
Well, there's still a chance for something to happen, because there's
kind of annoying that you can't make those substitutions on times where you don't have the ball, but I guess that makes sense, right? Because you don't want guys using it when they don't have the ball. That doesn't make any sense, because they would just be able to do it to slow the clock down when the opponent has the ball. So yeah, that makes sense in that sense.
What about you? They've got to win.
So 2-1 win. So overall, the game felt really good. So that's going to be it for the actual gameplay section. So why don't we get into some of the final review?
And today's star showing.
Alright guys, so that's going to be it for the video today. I appreciate you guys watching. So as far as the gameplay for FIFA 18, it feels really good. The players feel like they got a lot of weight. The shooting's got some real muster behind it, so it feels like you're actually putting some real power on the shooting. It feels like you don't just tiki-taka the ball around. The dribbling's a little bit more tighter, and you have to be a little bit smarter with where you're going. I don't feel like I've even really broken the cusp of the depth of the dribbling. So it looks like there's a lot more that you can do with the dribbling that I'll have to really get hands-on with the game and really break out in itself. So the skill moves feel pretty tight in the game. So I'm not the best skiller in the world, so I might not be the best person to determine that. But in terms of the actual feel of the game, the players feel like they're all moving like they do in real life. So it's getting even more realistic every year that FIFA comes out. So FIFA 18 is no different. I really look forward to the actual game coming out, and watch for the web app coming soon so you guys can get started on your Ultimate Teams. So thank you guys for watching the video. Leave any likes down below, any comments down in the comment section. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. I appreciate you guys' support. Okay, take care guys. Peace.